Welcome to the PADI Eve webinar. My name is Ian Sykes from Eve Diving.
And my name is Richard Somerset. I am one of the territory directors here at PADI Europe, Middle East and Africa.
And we'd like to take up a little bit of your time explaining how Eve and PADI together can be the way ahead for your dive centre in this new world we all find ourselves in. And in this new world, as you know, your dive centre, your dive store will live and thrive in the online world, because that's where your customers are. Whether they have been working from home, whether they still are, or whatever form of life they are currently leading, it is via their tablets, their phones, their PCs that they are first discovering about diving, they're discovering about PADI, they're finding your dive center. And it's vital that you give the best service to your customers online so that you can then concentrate on the things that you excel at already, which is taking your divers into the water, teaching them to dive, taking them on dive trips, showing them how to use the dive equipment that they have bought from you.
So throughout this presentation, we are going to be giving you a walkthrough of all of the key aspects of where Eve and PADI integrate to support your business. And at the end of the presentation, when you're ready to sign up to Eve, you can simply scan this QR code. You'll see it again later on in the presentation as well. Complete the form that it takes you to. And the great news is you will receive a special package offer directly from Eve, catered to your needs as well. So keep an eye out for this QR code. You can grab it now. You'll also see it a bit later on as well. And PADI and Eve really is a combination to support your business. As you'll see, the systems are intended to complement one another and to drive customers to various areas of your business, as we'll show you when we talk through the system itself. So what is the PADI Eve system? There are a number of aspects to it. PADI, as you know, is the educational system you use to conduct your courses and to support aspects of your business with things like PADI Travel. Eve, as you'll see, integrates into all different aspects of your company and will provide support digitally and in a range of areas. And Ian's actually going to talk you through now each of those different aspects, and then we'll go into each of them in depth.
So the full Eve system that integrates with you as a PADI store owner and your PADI instructors contains and includes a unique website. It also has bookings for courses and trips and so on from that website and by an independent web store. Part of the things that you get from being a PADI member is new and updated website banner promotions and images for your website. That's why you're a PADI member, to take advantage of those marketing skills and strengths that PADI have. Now, in order to manage that website and web store and the banner promotions, Eve provides you with a full web content management system. In addition to that, there is an email marketing agent that will make sure that every customer you have, from the person first asking about how do I get into diving, can I take a Discover Scuba session, how do I become a certified diver, all the way through to now's the time to be signing up to become a PADI professional. That marketing system is built into Eve, and allied to that marketing system are hundreds, literally hundreds of email marketing campaigns that come from PADI to be used in the Eve marketing system. And that is one of the benefits of being an Eve user and a PADI member. Now, in addition, of course, all of this is going to be increasing your sales online and in store. And Eve is a full point of sale system with, of course, inventory management, tax management, report management, purchase orders, etc. In addition, yes, there's more. In addition, there are apps to be used by boat skippers, dive masters, instructors, where they, as members of staff, are kept fully up to date with what's going on in the system, but also, as you can see, they can also use those apps in order to certify divers, market to divers, use e-learning codes, digital codes, etc., as they are dealing with your customers. Now, the final thing, little technical point, is all of this is possible because Eve, again, hosts all of this data, allowing this integration of website, web store, in-store point of sale, apps, processing of pics and online codes with PADI to take place. And that is the full PADI Eve system from a technical viewpoint. We're now going to show you some examples and ways in which we turn that technical idea into something much more practical for you.
And here's the first example of these. So Ian mentioned the website side of things to begin with. Eve can provide you with a website. There are actually 36 start points for different websites. This is just one of them, which then can be customized to really describe and show your dive center. You're seeing some of the examples now of the kind of layout, the kind of information which can be included. And there is a vast spectrum that you can create to make sure, based on that simple Eve delivered template, which is optimized for your benefit, you will be able to come up with something which is still unique to your dive center as well. Now, in addition to the websites, there are the course bookings, key with your PADI hats on to be able to direct your customers to book onto courses quickly and easily. As you can see from this screenshot, here's just one example. You can list your courses, the prices for them, you can organize them, and customers will be able to book online, giving you an instant online booking system. Further to that, we can do the same thing with equipment sales as well. An instant online shop you can create, you can direct your customers to make online purchases, something which has been proved so important in the post-pandemic world is straight out of the box for you. And that folds into the travel side of things as well. As travel is reopening, as people are getting back out there into normal life, you can simply direct people to your website and you can advertise, market, and sell your travel courses, or travel experiences rather, on the Eve site also.
Now, one of the reasons that's possible is that Eve provides you with a full, unique, bespoke content management system for your website, which allows you to express exactly the imagery, the colors, the look, the feel, the content of what's going to work for you in your location. Clearly, an inland dive center will need different imagery and different colors potentially from a dive center where the majority of diving is from boats. Clearly, a dive center in the Mediterranean compared to a dive center in the Red Sea, or a dive center in Scapa Flow, say, will all want, again, different imagery so that it allows the customer to see what's going to be the best for them in your center. And Eve's content management system, where you control clearly the words, the imagery, the videos, the layout, is one of the things that is part of this full Eve suite of services. Vital in that process is, of course, SEO, search engine optimization, making sure that your dive center comes near the top of the list in a search engine that a customer is using to find out dive centers local to them. And how to manage your SEO is built into the Eve website and online store content management system. So again, not only is the content taken care of, but so is your ability to ensure that you're getting that content high up on the search engines of your customers' phones, tablets, PCs. Now, beyond website and web store, we mentioned at the start about what we call in Eve terms, a thing called the Eve agent. It's a targeted marketing idea. To give you a quick distinction between targeted marketing and catch-all marketing. Targeted marketing is where a message is designed to go to a particular customer based on a set of criteria. There being no point sending me, for instance, information about how to take up ballet. Not a strength of mine, not an interest of mine. Would be very interesting for my daughter, for example, who used to do, still does, an awful lot of ballet. Now, we take that into a diving term. We're talking about making sure that the right information goes to the right diver based on, for example, whether they've just asked about taking up diving, or whether they have now booked onto a DSD, whether they've asked about an open water, whether they've booked onto open water, whether they've just certified as rescue diver, whether they've expressed an interest on coming on your dive boat, etc. Now, to give you an indication of the power of targeted marketing, the statistic that you're seeing on screen there is not just an Eve statistic, is not just a diving statistic, but is a worldwide statistic. In 2021, only 2% of emails that were sent to human beings were actually done with targeted marketing based on habits, interests, previous sales pattern, age, all the things that Eve will take account of. Yet, those 1 in 50 emails produced more than 1 in 4 of the sales. That gives you an indication of the power of targeting your marketing. And as you'll learn further in this, and when you start using the Eve marketing agent, the ability to slice, dice, customize, get the right message to the right diver in the right way at the right time is one of the keys to the success of your dive business. And as you know from your own training to become a PADI professional, there are some absolutely key points that we must follow up with divers. And if you think about it, you probably do this all the time when you are in the store. Someone asks you about diving. You tell them. They sign up. So you tell them some more. Read this, watch that. They're on the program. And you say to them, we're about to be looking at computers. We're about to be looking at buoyancy. Why don't you grab yourself a BCD? Why don't you get yourself a dive computer? They certify. You say, fantastic, great, brilliant. Remember, what I've shown you so far, say it's open water, is yes, great fun. But now that you've learned to survive, if you like, underwater, now's the time to broaden your horizons, to really start concentrating on some of the things that might interest you. So let's move on. And maybe if you're in a coastal dive center, you might be pushing people towards boat diver, drift diver, maybe on an inland one, more towards advanced open water. But the Eve marketing agent will do these things for you. And it ensures that those points where you know you need to be contacting customers, when they've asked, when they've signed up, when they're on the program, when they're certified, and for all following on Con Ed, that is taken care of automatically. Because these automated emails, after every inquiry, after every booking, after when someone's on any course, when they've finished any certification, at every key point for every course type, the Eve agent has built in jobs and emails, as we call them. And they search for and send those to, for example, those people who signed up for, or rather have completed an open water course, but not yet signed up. And the same for those with DSD experience to open water. That's just 2 examples, but there are literally hundreds of examples, and you can use the power of PADI's marketing quality and Eve's targeting quality to ensure that your emails are in that group of emails that produce more than 1 in 4 online sales from the tiny fraction of emails that go out. Whether it's inquiry, follow-ups, enrollment, pre-course, on-program, invitations to purchase and book, certifications, trips, and so on, all of these things clearly maximize a diver's experience. You're telling them the correct information at the correct time. You're also ensuring that the information that you as a dive center manager and owner know that you must get to a diver is going to them, regardless of whether it is you speaking to them or any other member of staff. If you like, the Eve marketing agent is the best trained member of staff. They will never forget what to say and when to say it, which piece of equipment, which Con Ed program, which trip to promote at which time during a diver's cycle with you. The result will clearly be an increase in sales, an increase in your relationships with your customers and their satisfaction. You will have more diver activity, more bookings on boats, etc. And of course, your certifications will increase, and we'll show you some statistics on that a little bit later.
And just to give you some examples of that marketing power that Ian mentioned a moment ago, we wanted to show you some of the templates that PADI produces for Eve users to put straight out to their customers. You can see a range of them here. These are automated messages. PADI will create the content for you. PADI will be able to put the imagery in. They get loaded up and you can simply send them out on Eve, or rather will send them out on your behalf in a targeted manner to all of your potential customers. And they will go through in a bundle form as well. We do that for the core courses, which you just saw, but we also do it for all of the specialties as well. And again, you can see on your screen here, all the different specialties lined up, each of them with a preloaded template with the text created, thought through by marketing professionals to really fire up your customer base and encourage them to engage with your programs in the future as well.
Now, the purpose of all of these things we've looked at so far is to create, if you like, this virtuous circle or cycle that you see on the screen. Mentioned right at the start that your website is how customers will first discover you. And if we follow the arrows round from the website at the top, the next thing clearly is customers will discover PADI and they'll book on a course and they will get their e-learning code, their digital code, their access code. And they will start their diver training online. And you can manage that through the Eve systems of where they are in their program and which pool dives they've done, which open water dives, which e-learning modules, etc. And as we mentioned, through the process of all of that, that Eve agent will then send more and more messages to the diver, but the correct diver at the right time, in the right way, to say, this is the next step, this is the piece of equipment, this is the trip, this is the Con Ed piece you'll need. You will certify, as you will see, that can be done not just through the Eve client, but as we'll show you later, through other aspects of this full Eve system. And that certification information is linked directly to PADI. So it really is one button certification. As soon as those divers are certified, they become a PADI diver. They have the PADI logo on their phone, a hugely important step in a diver's life and career and for the benefit of your dive center. Again, the Eve agent will mark it to them. This is your next step. This is the next program we recommend for you. And that marketing message will drive divers back to a website, the web store, where the process will begin again for the next activity. So if they were open water divers, maybe about advanced open water, or as mentioned before, perhaps you'll want it to go to the boat diver or drift diver, but wherever you want it to go to. And this virtuous cycle of PADI and Eve working together in terms of the technicality and the content of marketing will keep your divers happy, increase their business with you. And as you can see, they'll never be out of the loop. They'll be remaining with you forever, and you'll be retaining their customer, or those customers and their custom rather, for a very long and successful relationship. One of the ways that Eve and PADI integrate so well together is through what you're seeing on screen here, little screen grabs of an app that all your staff, your instructors, dive masters, boat skippers can have on their phones when they're out and about on boats, at dive sites with your divers. They can process those certifications. They can update course information, process certifications, and in the process, of course, they issue e-cards that come straight to the divers and kick in all of that marketing next step phases that we've been talking about through this presentation. And landing on your divers' phones at the dive site will be offers to take the next step, whether it be some of the screen grabs you're seeing here are where this is a free PADI intro course, say straight after someone's done DSD. This content is again provided for you by PADI, works with every aspect of Eve. But these are the kinds of messages that will be appearing on your divers' phones after they have just done a DSD at a pool site and your instructors have uploaded that information. That's the power, hitting people whilst they're keen and they're hot. And this level of integration simply leads on, as you can imagine, to more people taking that enthusiasm for diving and turning it into becoming a trained diver, a certified diver, and becoming someone for whom diving is now a passion in their life and not just oh, I did it once and then have moved on.
And because PADI and Eve are integrated, that means that this is an ongoing process. It's not a static thing. As PADI continues to evolve and innovate and come up with new campaigns, new marketing messages, those are communicated through the Eve system. New templates are created. You can see a couple of examples here. And we'll also elect some of the new courses as they come through as well. The next slide will show you a couple of pictures of the kind of new templates, new marketing messages. And we take the messages that we use in the standard PADI marketing, we share those through the Eve system to mean you've got that strong link and consistency with the PADI messaging and your dive centers messaging. So your consumers, your customers are receiving that same look, feel, and style of messaging for a really joined up, coherent marketing campaign.
Now, we've mentioned briefly the Pro app that, as you can see, can be on every member of your staff's phones. But also, if you want to make greater relationships with many of the independent instructors who you already, I'm sure, have great relationships with in your area, you can also invite them to connect with your store via the Pro app. So this can be used for both your full-time instructors, your part-time instructors, your dive masters, and already the independent instructors working with you. This allows you to increase the scope of your store, and your dive team, wherever they are always linked with your store. They know when someone signed up for a course. They know when someone's asked information about the next trip you're organizing to the Mediterranean, to the Red Sea. They have their schedule of activities on their phone. They have the paperwork from the divers, if you like. So they know they filled in the forms when they're going this weekend. They have their images. They can, if you allow them as the owner and set their privileges as such, to certify divers. All of these things are built into the Pro app because it's speaking all the time to you. And by you, what I mean is your dive center, your database, and your staff, your dive masters, your boat skippers have all of this at their fingertips all the time, both to receive information about your divers from you and also send back information, i.e., yes, we've just done this dive, we've just completed this course, and so on. And that Pro app that can be used on any phone or any tablet in any browser, which contains information on the courses you're running, the trips you're running, the certifications, the customers, staff schedules. They can access Dive Check through it, a calendar of their own activities, a calendar of future activities for customers. That is part of this Eve Pro app system and part of this full Eve Ultimate system where your staff can, in real time, update course information, attendances, quiz scores, and so on. They can certify divers. Those divers that would on their own phones immediately receive information about the next step. So it's real-time marketing. Clearly, this increases efficiency, increases students having fun, moving on to the next step, and will do nothing but increase your sales of those trips, of those programs, and of associated equipment purchases alongside them. Because of the Eve and PADI integration, at the same time, anyone who needs to have immediate access to Dive Check, Pro Check, Pick Online, the OLPC, and so on, any member of staff that you give that authority to can immediately access it from their phone. So any of those issues you've had in the past where a diver hasn't turned up with a cert card, your staff, wherever they may be, on boat, at side of lake, on the shore, can immediately go onto Dive Check and find that information for the customer. And as we said before, because they're updating activities, that's changing a customer profile, and the customer profile will then kick in with that Eve marketing agent, say, right, next piece of information to send to this customer is either about this course or this activity. All of that, and when I say all of that, I mean everything that we've been discussing on here, of a website, a web store, the pro apps, the in-store use for a point of sale system, the content management system, is brought together in one area of data hosting, which allows all of these things to both project outwards to your staff, to your instructors, to your dive masters, and most importantly, to your divers, existing divers, new divers, and soon to be divers, and onto any device, PCs, tablets, phones, etc., because the data is held in one place. And that's what Eve offers you as well, is a cloud hosting environment. That means that whether you're at home, in the store, on your phone, you can access, update, use these Eve services. And there is no duplication of effort. If you enter a date, it's everywhere. You don't have to enter a date on a website and on a web store and on an internal system, and then let your instructors know, and then have to remember to call the boat skipper and hope your instructors pass that on to your customers. Because of this one database in the cloud environment and these different services, some of which are accessed by your staff, some by your divers, everything talks to everything else. So the efficiency, the accuracy, the time saving is extraordinary. Again, allowing you to concentrate on taking your divers diving and having the fun that diving is meant to be.
And as Ian says, and as you've seen, Eve and PADI, that integration will bring great ease to your business. It will drive extra business. It will do so much of the work for you. But at the end of the day, it's really important to see what that means to the bottom line in your dive center as well. And we wanted to share some numbers with you. The numbers you see on the screen here reflect the national average spend. This is based in American numbers, but they're very similar around the world, for how much money somebody spends on their open water course and their advanced open water courses on equipment, travel trips, rental, and Con Ed. And somebody going through those two courses on average will spend $2,650 US. Now, if your dive center is doing 100 of those courses a year, and you grow the business by 34%, that would equate to just over $90,000 increased turnover. That's if you grow your business by 34%. Well, why do we say 34%? Well, as you'll see, Eve stores are 34% above the worldwide certification average trend over the last 5 years. So when we look at a dive center which doesn't have Eve versus a dive center which does use Eve, those guys using Eve are 34% above the worldwide certification trend over the last 5 years. So there is a clear link, direct causal link between using Eve effectively to integrate it with your PADI courses and the systems in your dive center and growing your business. And you can really see how that will impact your bottom line there. And just as a reminder of how that works, and Ian's spoken through this already, this is because it is all part of that circle, that chain of success that Eve and PADI integrated will build for you, taking your customers, getting the digital codes to them, capturing those in Eve, moving the marketing messages created by PADI through Eve Agent back to those customers, driving them back into the system through the Eve store, back to your website to book onto their next course and their next travel and their next equipment, constantly making sure you never drop the ball and miss out on the opportunity to continue to progress your customers through your business.
So how do you start? How do you get going with this? Well, it's really very easy. You contact Eve Diving. You can contact us at support@evediving.com. You can go to the website and you can ask for your unique package and your unique upgrade offer if you're a dive center owner listening to this that isn't using at the moment all the aspects of Eve. And all you'll need to do is to quote your store number and PADI territory. Now, I say that's really simple, and it is. But you've already had to remember, oh dear, what email address is that and what do I have to ask for? So we've made it a lot easier for you. Just scan that QR code and it will take you to, as you said at the beginning, a page where you simply enter the information that it asks you for, and we will come back to you with a special offer for you. And they really are very special offers for you that come from PADI and Eve to ensure that you can take advantage of the Eve Ultimate system, not only through the rest of 2022, but as part of an ongoing relationship, as part of your ongoing membership of PADI and Eve in the coming years, as we all look to reinvigorate our dive centers and to move into the new world and allow our customers to more easily access the fantastic diving services you offer. So simply scan that QR code, couple of details, we'll take it from there and get you going. Because what we've been trying to say today is that the PADI Eve system, this full Eve system that we call Eve Ultimate, is here to allow you to build today a much brighter tomorrow, something we all need in this post-pandemic world for your dive center and your business, to make it easier for you to engage with your customers, to enthuse your customers, to get more customers, retain more customers. And that's what PADI and Eve are here to help you do. So please take advantage of this. And I know and remind you, Ian Sykes from Eve Diving would very much like to thank you for your time and attention on this webinar. And
thank you very much indeed. Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone.